Well, it all started with this video. Take it away, Congresswoman.
Yes. And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, targeted at an individual.
It's
Severe,
targeted at
pervasive.
Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So when you commit genocide, that's actionable. But when you threaten genocide, that's not a problem. And that's where everything started for her. We have a quick peek look at her resignation letter that's been submitted. Let's bring it up here on the YouTubes here. Historic stuff, folks. Dear Mr. Secretary, I hereby resign the office of the presidency of the United States. Sincerely, Claudine Gay. Nice job, Zero Hedge. We actually have her real resignation letter, and Zero Hedge also brings us this. Dear personal news, dear members of the Harvard community, you will be shocked, Zero Hedge notes. You'll be shocked to learn that the fraud queen of DEI, the uber plagiarist Claudine Gay, blamed race for upending her career. If you scroll down here, thank you, Zero Hedge, for highlighting this segment here. Two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am and frightening to the subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. In other words, the reason why she got fired was the color of her skin. Actually, no. The reason you got fired was because you said that it's okay to promote genocide on your campus, A, and as my wife would say, 2, is because you plagiarized 50 plus documents that were used to advance your academic career. So let's give credit where credit is due in this particular case. In this particular case, all credit is due to Christopher Rufo. Christopher Rufo, let's bring up his Twitter bio or X bio. He's a writer at City Journal, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and lectures at Hillsdale. So Christopher Rufo is the one that kind of coordinated this entire investigation about Claudine Gay, and he deserves the primary credit for what just happened, her resignation from Harvard this afternoon. To all my critics who snidely dismissed me as a bad faith actor in a cartoon villain, I was right. You were wrong. Gay is gone. The world of politics cannot be divided neatly between good actors and bad actors. Reality is not a Marvel comic. Politics is not a child's fable. There are only actors, fighters in the arena, some of whom are successful and some of whom are not. My strategies, however unorthodox, have proven successful at exposing corruption, changing public opinion, and moving institutions. My critics, nursing sanctimonious feelings from safe distance outside the arena, have no such record. So all credit to Christopher Rufo for making this happen. Let's go to the Harvard Crimson, the official student newspaper of Harvard. They, of course, have a front page story. Harvard President Claudine Gay will resign Tuesday, bringing an end to the shortest presidency at the university, according to a person with knowledge of the decision. It's not clear who will be appointed to serve as interim president. Spokesperson Jonathan Swain declined comment. Gray's resignation comes just 6 months and 2 days into her presidency. She's only been there for the second half of 2023, right? She just took office. And after her disastrous testimony at Congress, which we just played for you, which was less than a month ago, December 5th. So today's obviously the 2nd. And after less than 30 days after this video, she's gone. She's gone. And this is now 2 out of the 3 college presidents that testified that day. 2 out of 3 of them gone. The UPenn one is gone, and Claudine Gay from Harvard University also gone. Vitally important to remember that although the situation in Israel precipitated this crisis, what ultimately did her in was her claim to academic achievement and leadership ability that was founded on lies. Right? You live on a bed of lies. This is a dagger through the heart of diversity, equity, and inclusion. If we could only get rid of Elizabeth Warren next, right? If we could only get rid of Elizabeth Warren. So the allegation, which it seems to be crystal clear and true at this point, is that she got this job because of the color of her skin, because of who she was. That's how she got the job, not due to her academic achievement, which she stole on multiple occasions from other scholars. And all credit again to Christopher Rufo for understanding the news cycle and how this went down. There was a lot of pressure for her to resign just prior to Christmas. And I actually said this on Twitter, that if she can survive through Friday, then that might work for her. You know, she might be able to get out from under this if she could survive through the Friday before Christmas, because obviously once you go into the Christmas holiday, people's attention will be focused elsewhere during Christmas. But Rufo was smart. He spent that time between just before Christmas and now developing additional citations of plagiarism, and he was smart. He started to drip them on Twitter last night. So yesterday. Let's bring this up on the screen here. More plagiarism. He dropped in this yesterday morning, I should say. More plagiarism. An independent researcher has found 6 additional plagiarized messages. And the importance of to get someone to resign is to make this look like it's never going to end. Drip, drip, drip. Exactly. It's the drip, drip, drip strategy. It's getting worse at Harvard. This has a, I thought it had a GIF, but it doesn't, or a GIF, whatever they call it. It does have an amazing, red highlighted section where you can just compare what Mr. Cannon said, whoever he is, must be some academic, to what Claudine Gay, the now former president of Harvard, said. And I mean, it's just crystal clear that she basically copied almost the vast majority of these statements. Here it is again. And I like this kind of like, red line situation makes it for really easy to see. Let's take the second paragraph. The central parts of the VRA are Section 2 and Section 5. The former prohibits any state or political subdivision from imposing a voting practice that will deny or abridge the right of any citizen of the United States to vote on an account of race or color. So she wrote, the central part of the measure are Section 2 and Section 5. Section 2 reiterates the guarantees of the 15th Amendment prohibiting any state or political subdivision from adopting voting practices that deny or abridge. It's the same sentence, effectively, just tweaking a little bit here or there. This is a huge win for Christopher Rufo, and a defeat for DEI writ large. Here's Shawn Davis. Completely ridiculous that she was allowed to resign. You remember that the Harvard Board of Overseers gave her a vote of confidence prior to Christmas. She should have been fired weeks ago. True, but she wasn't. In fact, she probably should have never been hired at all, because Harvard is an all in on racist DEI insanity. With her gone, they'll pick someone with the exact same ideology, identity check boxes without the plagiarism. So that is highly likely. What will happen is that Harvard will just pick somebody else that if it fits all the boxes and doesn't have the plagiarism problem, right? That's probably what will happen. Claudine Gay, Citizen Free Press, my favorite website, resignation will be portrayed by the media as a hate crime It won't be about Israel or plagiarism, right? No, it's going to be a hate crime. It'll be about how neo-Confederates rallied to take down a strong black woman. It's just a matter of time, by the way. We see that on CNN. And she will get a better paying gig at Harvard, and Harvard will have to replace her with someone with the exact same policies. That's how it works here in Massachusetts. But as you might know, I'm from Massachusetts, and that's how it works here in Massachusetts. When we bump somebody off here in Massachusetts because they're corrupt in one way, shape, or another, you just get somebody else with a different name that has the same policies, right? So it's just like switching the band on the Titanic. You don't get a lot of variation with the next person, right? The next person basically going to be the same thing. So getting rid of her, yes, step in the right direction, and it's a defeat for DEI. Whether or not we'll make a huge dent in what Harvard's all about, probably not soon, because Harvard is such a institute. It's just like Massachusetts. We're going to need like 100 of these types of things to occur before we actually see real change. Because just like California, Massachusetts is we're living behind enemy lines, and Harvard's kind of like the captain of the ship here for how whacked out Massachusetts is and Harvard is, right? Christopher Rufo again. This is the beginning of the end for DEI in American institutions. And I think that could be true in many places. A lot of places are going to say, are we promoting this person because of their immutable quality, which they cannot control, or are we promoting them based solely upon their merit? And if they're getting based solely upon their merit, then good for them, right? That's what America's about. Or are we promoting them just based upon the color of the skin? That's wrong, right? We will expose you. We will outmaneuver you, and we will not stop fighting until we have restored a colorblind equality in our great nation, kind of echoing Dr. King's sentiment, of course. I wonder if the DC Drano, I wonder if the 700 plus Harvard professors who signed a letter just 3 weeks ago saying they support Claudine Gay feel incredibly stupid right now. They should. Thankfully, we now have a list of the worst and most radical professors at Harvard. You know, that guy with the truck, that drives around with the truck, maybe he should go out there and drive around with the truck again with the 700 Harvard professors on it. That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good. Let's check in with CNN and see if they're crying yet. Real quickly, they are not crying yet. But they will be soon. It's just a matter of time before they get up there. And there's a number of people that are going to be saying that the only reason why she's gone is because Christopher Rufo and the entire right wing, because they're racist, right? And right here, Zero Hedge once again, who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. It wasn't fueled by racial animus. It was fueled by the fact that you denied that genocide is a hate crime, and it was fueled by the fact that you lied in your academic papers, that you cheated, that you plagiarized. That's what it's fueled by. It's fueled by fact. That's what it's fueled by. Not because of who you are. It's because of what you did and what you said. All right, so I'm John F. Gately. You can call me Jack, broadcasting you from beautiful Plymouth, America's hometown in Massachusetts. Have a great day. Bye-bye.